This morning, traffic on the country's highways expected to pick up today with just a few days to go before Christmas. Scores of people will be travelling to their holiday destinations. Now, authorities are urging motorists to be vigilant on the roads and to adhere to speed limits. Since the start of December, 767 people losing their lives in road accidents. Let's check in with the spokesperson for the N3 Toll Concession, Roux. Con, we've been talking about these shocking road deaths numbers, the numbers in just since the start of December. As people take to the N3 heading to the coast, what are things looking like this morning?
Michelle, those numbers are absolutely shocking, as you correctly say. Our fatalities for the year to January to October were down by 33%. So there was a good news story on the N3. And for the December period itself, we've tracked what happened last year in the first 3 weeks of December. We had 13 fatalities. For the same period this year, we've had 8. So one is one too many. But at least we can report a decrease in fatalities on the N3. Would like to thank motorists who have driven by and large responsibly in achieving that. But nonetheless, we're very, very aware of the number of crashes. To give you an example, night before last, there were 6 crashes in one night. And the difference between a crash with minor injuries and a fatal crash is non-existent. It's a minimal difference. So our message to motorists is extremely clear. Remember that between 70 and 80% of crashes are caused by human error, by the driver behind the wheel. Please, everybody, drive courteously, kindly, and considerately, bearing in mind that it's not only your safety at stake, but particularly those your loved ones in the car with you and those sharing the road with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just tracking some of the comments on social media, Con, people talking about, being intimidated on the road, being forced to the shoulder of the road. We're all keen to take a breather, to go on holiday. One of the other messages that's really important to just get out there is just be patient. Take it easy on the road. Take a break when you can.
100%, Michelle. And we always say, for goodness sake, treat the journey as part of the holiday. Don't speed. And what you're talking about with drivers aggressively driving up behind others, forcing them out of the way. Of course, that is also linked with people who insist on disobeying the rule of the road, and that's people who keep right, instead of moving over to the left, allowing people to overtake them in the right. That causes aggression. It's of huge concern to us. I think the general level of aggression on the roads, possibly reflecting some of the angst in our society, but it's reflected in the road and it just translates into crashes and so on. We're looking forward to the festive season. It's a festive season. We've all worked hard throughout this year. Let's all be patient and kind to one another. Let's, as we drive down towards our holiday destinations, and just let's be respectful of one another.
I mean, Con, this issue around road deaths, it's a story that we follow particularly, during the festive season. But the story of road deaths really is one that carries on throughout the year. And we're not winning the battle against these staggering numbers that we're seeing.
Clearly not, Michelle. And it is a fact that, and I can only speak for the N3, there are a huge number of initiatives which take place behind the scenes. We have a wonderfully engineered road, and that possibly is reflecting in those decreased fatalities that I was speaking about earlier. But generally speaking, it's broken. We have to fix it. We have to change the way we do things in South Africa. And more than anything else, we have to change driver behavior, driver attitude on our roads.
Absolutely. Well, Con, before we let you go, what is that road looking like as we count down to the weekend, as we count down to Christmas Day? Is it quite full? Are people sort of jam-packed on the roads?
Michelle, I was listening with interest to your discussion with Gareth. earlier as to whether there'd be anybody to watch the cricket in Pretoria. Last weekend, traffic peaked at 2,000 vehicles an hour southbound through Moy Plaza, so a good number of people went down. However, we didn't think that traffic volumes were over an extended period. It was just a small peak, and so we are expecting a lot of traffic this weekend. I think people can't afford to go away for the old 3-week holiday, and so people going for far shorter periods. So definitely we're going to see an increase in traffic. As we speak, the volumes are 1,200 vehicles an hour southbound through De Hoek Plaza. A heads up to motorists that there are misty conditions on Van Rhenen's Pass. Yesterday we had a crash on Van Rhenen in misty, wet conditions, so just a real heads up to be cautious and drive slowly and safely through there. And then there's one other incident in the road that's down near Escort, where a truck has left the road. Fortunately, no obstruction at this stage.
All right. Well, thanks very much for taking the time to give us that update. Spokesperson for the N3 Toll Concession, Roux, just giving us an update on the number of vehicles that we are seeing going through that route there. Just a note there from him that there are misty conditions on Van Rhenen's Pass. So do take it easy if you are going down that direction.